Now, unlike a regular butterfly where you would now go to 7,000, we go to 68.75.
So you'd go, I'm just going to show this real quick.
Yeah.
The regular butterfly would be
16.
6,900, right? So
And what would it cost? Just note that down. It would cost 13.10.
yes, and because it's even the S&Ps, you cut that in half. So it's actually going
Right.
to cost $655.
Exactly. And the maximum profit, maximum potential profit is 2,500. Not profit, but value is $2,500, right?
Well, max profit, yes, the total
If
with the
it
total
pays.
with it,
Yeah.
right, with what you paid for it. But if you
Right.
pay 13,
Right.
your max profit is 1,800. I just don't want to confuse people there.
Yeah. Yeah. I just look at the value.
So
Okay.
regular butterfly, love it. This is
Okay.
traditional butterfly.
Right. Now, instead of going to 69, let's buy the 68.75.
So I'm going to delete this leg and buy the 68.75.
So
Okay. Yeah.
we're paying
Wow.
a bit more,
Yep.
but notice there's no risk to the upside. This,
Huh.
yes.
Okay, so just for fun, Ken,
Yeah.
I'm going to delete this leg. I'm going to go to the regular butterfly, and we're going to look at it on the analysis page, and then we'll do both, if that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I have anything else in ES? No, we don't. Okay, so this is what a traditional butterfly looks like on the analysis page, where there's this high peak right here.
Yeah.
And this is where the product is trading right now. The reason you're not making money until it gets up there is because we paid a little bit for it, right?
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a low probability trade, and you can see that because you're paying for it. It's got a 23% pop, and this is because you're paying a debit for it. It's very. I mean, I do like butterflies, but now I'm going to clear this out, and we're going to go into the Fazia version.
Now, I should add here, Liz, I just chose that one. You can always make it narrower and pay less. The regular.
I like what you're doing here. Okay, so then I'm paying. You're paying a little bit more, like you said. We're paying a little bit more.
And again, you can choose the width of that second wing as you wish. But just notice the wings are not of equal width. The further away wing is narrower than the closer wing.
And by doing that, you're eliminating all the risk to the upside. So as you were talking, I was slightly adjusting the strikes, because if we're at the 68.75, I just wanted to see how far I could pull it before that green bar goes away. So I didn't have to do any math to find out where it goes. But so I pulled it all the way up to the 68.85, and you can see that then there's a little bit of risk to the upside. Not much, but a little bit of risk to the upside. So, but I'm going to take a look at this now on the curve view. Take a look at this. Okay, so once again, we're paying for it. So this is this.
The maximum risk is 1,700.
The maximum risk is 1,700, and that's to the downside. That's if it stays right here. But if we get a little bit of a push higher into this range, you can get, wow, this is pretty good. And then anywhere to the upside, you get to keep that overage, which is $380, and you can see that with the P&L.
Yep.
Pretty good.
Yeah. And again, you could start this anywhere you like. The general thing to remember is that the leading wing, right, the closer wing, should be wider than the following wing, for lack of a better expression.
I really like this trade. We're going to have to come up with a fun name, but for fun, can we do the put side as well? So if someone's, let's flip the cards over, because, you know, we talk all the time on this show. Options give you the option, and people can put it on in different directions and still maybe be a little bit right, even in the next 2 days, because we've been getting two-way markets. So you could be able to take this off. So let's pop in and do the put side too.
And maybe you can try a narrower one, a less expensive one this time, and maybe one that starts deeper, a bit more in the money, and that way, you know, it immediately starts making money. What do you think?
I see what you're saying. So by pulling it into the money, by pulling this put into the money.
Okay, yeah.
68.10. So let's go $40 wide. We'll go 40. Let's try 40 by 20. So if I was going to do 40 by 20, that would be here. I'm going to sell two of the 67.70, right? Is that $40 wide? Yep. And then if I went 20 to the downside, I'm going to buy 750.
There you go.
Okay, so this is, to your point, you're paying less, right? So
and look, the top is higher.
The pop is higher.
Obviously, because we're in the money.
Because you're in the money a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at this on the analysis page just to show everyone how this works. So now, if this is to the downside, now you could have done the same thing with the calls where you could have shifted it in the money. That's how that's how you're getting the stock price to start in the money.
Yeah.
But here, you can take a look at this. Anywhere to the downside, you're going to take $500 in profit down there. Your peak gets you $1,500.
Yes.
Now, and take a look at the low drawdown here. Now, anywhere to the upside of this, you're putting up 400 and you can only lose 400 and it's $500. It's bouncing around. I'll lock the price. So
yeah. I noticed that we have room for it to slip a little.
Right here.
Yeah.
Fazia, how long have you been doing these?
Oh, I don't know. I think maybe a year.
A year? So
Yeah.
is this how you use the shorter term options? And do you typically use ES?
No, I'll do this for earnings. I'll do this for anything, wherever you use a butterfly, right? But remember, we're being directional. So that's the assumption. You're being directional. You're spending a little bit more. So Dr. J does regular butterflies all the time for earnings.
He does. He was on the show yesterday, and I was actually just thinking about him because he did a big wide butterfly in Delta, and I actually think he was directionally right, but might have lost money because I think it went outside the butterfly to the upside.
So
if
you know
do
what
a regular butterfly, if this wouldn't have lost money.
Hey, we should send this to Jacob.
We should send it to Jacob.
And let him analyze it to death.
So I like this, Fazia. I like it actually. We're in a really interesting environment right now with the E-mini S&Ps having an IV rank of 50. So this market has been a very, very, very whippy market, right? So we still have that high implied volatility. I like what you're doing where you're doing it for earnings, but you are directional with them. And I was just thinking, putting my own kind of spin on this. Have you ever done it in the cash settled where you let the butterfly go exactly to the end? You know, like SPX or XS?
I think I almost always let it go to the end. But Liz, here's another thing. Compare the break even of a regular butterfly. You know, break even is where we basically don't make any money and we don't lose any money, right?
Right here. 6,800 is our break even on this one.
But no, of the regular one.
Okay, so if I'm going to take it to the regular,
40, so you would move the 67.50 to.
There we go, right? 30. No, I need
40. You want to move it to 30 right here. So the break even there on the downside is where we're concerned, right?
Right.
Yeah, is where right there, 67.35, right? Now turn it into the skewed one.
Bring this back up to 50.
Yeah. And there's still value. I mean, this thing has value all the way.
I like it, Fazia. We need now the fun part. We need to come. Can we call it the Fazia?
No. No, you want some funky name. You'll come up with it, believe me.
So one of my favorite things in the entire world to do, and we've done this multiple times, is to sit with experienced traders and come up with things that fit their risk reward profile. You sat down, you took a butterfly, and you said, okay, what can I do? I wanna create something where I'm not gonna lose to one side or the other. You can do it for earnings. You're still taking advantage of that high implied volatility. You're premium selling, and you're doing something smart against it. That's why I always say options are a thinking man's game.